those sounds of nature around him. It gave him an erect form, a firm, elastic step, fair countenance, undimmed senses, untainted breath, as it did for Daniel and his 3 companions. We see that from here, now, his new character. We went through the character of Daniel and Nebuchadnezzar. We know what Daniel ate, and we know what Nebuchadnezzar ate prior. Now, after 7 years, it took 7 years for him to fully detox. And so he went through all those years, gaining little by little, day by day. But for the first year and for the first 6 months, I'm sure he was absolutely miserable. He was sick all the time. He's like, this isn't worth it. But thank God that he stayed, because he had free will to leave. God didn't force him to stay, because God is a total gentleman. He never forces us to do anything. He just presents us the information and the opportunity, and if we don't take it, that's on us. But notice that now, you see, there's a big connection between our gut and our brain. And if we are off in our thinking, that means that we're off in our microbiome as well, in our gut. And how do we then expand that microbiome and get all those good bugs back in again? It's through a whole food, plant-based diet, and eating lots of raw fruits and vegetables, big salads, lots of fruit, and it is to get rid of all then the junk. So we see that he went from that character, now he went to the character of Daniel. He's now humble and teachable. He's now honored. He now honors the God of heaven. He's now repentant. His reasoning returned. He's confessing. He's acknowledging the God of heaven, or God as the King of heaven. He is reverent now. He's lost his boastful pride, his arrogance, and his character blemishes, and he's become a witness for God. And he has a powerful testimony. He now becomes warm and eloquent with a grateful heart. He now fully partook of the mercy, grace, righteousness, and peace of the divine nature. He transitioned from proud and boastful to humiliated to humble. And he cleaned up his appearance again from the disheveled to honoring, and went from the condition of a brute beast to that of a being in the image of God. We see that he had the attributes of a converted sinner, and he was born again. We see that he is somebody that I would want in my church to give his testimony. And he's someone that you would probably want in your church to give his testimony. You know, this is an amazing transformation of a man who so many of us kind of point fingers at and look down upon, and, oh, that poor man. And we don't really have much compassion for him with kind of a broad, with a narrow view. And instead, if we broaden out our view, we can see what God really did through this man. And through this man, God has given us the most ultimate detox diet. And I don't even need to counsel with anybody one-on-one. Whatever your condition is, there's your diet right there. There's your lifestyle. And it's directly from God. And it's shown right through Nebuchadnezzar. And so we see that in a public proclamation that King Nebuchadnezzar finally acknowledges his guilt, that in his great mercy, God gives him restoration again. This was the last act then that is recorded in sacred history. And we see, imagine what life would be like for him and for you and for me if we were to follow him fully and completely without reservation. And just say, God, I'm going to go through this terrible situation of this detox, but I know that at the end you will bless me with better emotional health, physical health, whatever the issue is. So what does this mean about this diet lifestyle for God's end-time people? So we see that Daniel is an end-time prophetic book with a dual application for both then and now. The diet lifestyle of Nebuchadnezzar is the same diet and lifestyle that we are to be living today and working towards. It's not going to happen overnight. This is something that takes time to do this. And where you are right now and where you are next year is up to you. But so we cannot compare you with somebody else. Please do not compare yourself with other people, because you're dealing with your issues, they are dealing with their issues. We need to bust out of this Adventist box and burn it, and let people be free in Christ. And not put people in our box that just because I am where I am does not mean that's where everybody else needs to be. You see what I'm saying? Because we can't make ourselves that standard for somebody else. And if we see somebody struggling like Nebuchadnezzar, instead of the finger pointing and the gossip, how about if we put our arm around him and say, brother, I see that you've been really struggling this week. And I want you to know that this whole last week that I've prayed for you. And can I pray for you now? Or sister, I saw that you were really distraught